everybody. Yeah, all right. Yeah, just when you thought New York couldn't get any nastier, it now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's moo-moo. Canadian wildfires are producing tons of smoke, all landing here, making it the worst thing from that country since Seth Rogen. But as the trees burn, another tree speaks out. Yes, human elm John Kerry commemorated the 79th anniversary of D-Day by comparing it to the fight against climate change. Note to John, it's okay to visit the statues at Easter Island, just don't turn into one. He claims the climate change fight requires the same level of innovation and mobilization that was required to fight the Nazis. But today's threat comes from all of us. So if you don't recycle and buy an EV, well, then you're the new Hitler. He found that funny. Plus, he's the last guy I'd talk to about the environment. The guy threw away his medals, and that's littering. Meanwhile, East Coasters are suffering, which makes them smile. Nothing like human misery to pave the way for a power grab. If this smog keeps up, churches will be closed. You'll only be allowed out for food and pride parades. AOC says that this smoke out just shows us how unprepared we are for the climate crisis. We must adapt our food systems, energy grids, infrastructure, healthcare, blah, 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 barf. Because when the government says adapt, they mean seize and destroy. But if she really cared about too much CO2 in the air, she'd shut her gob. Does she think this is the first forest fire in the history of the world? Well, actually, she might. She has an economics degree and still thinks shutting down businesses creates new jobs. She's not bright. 5 cows fart in Calcutta, and she's ready to send us back to the days of horse and buggy. By the way, aren't we teaching kids about Smokey the Bear anymore? I mean, that is if Smokey still identifies as a bear. Then there's human chinchilla Chuck Schumer, who claims that the smoke is a warning that we have a lot of work to do to reverse the destruction of climate change. Okay. But does that work include teaching people not to throw a lit cigarette out of a window of a car or maybe douse that campfire when you're done playing Davy Crockett? He adds, quote, we passed the Inflation Reduction Act to put us on track to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions 50% by 2030, but we must do more. Oh, wait, that's why you passed the Inflation Reduction Act? I thought it was supposed to stop a pound of bologna from costing more than a pound of lobster, you pound of crap. How about Squad Pod Pramila Jayapal? Quote, imagine being a Republican climate change denier in Congress. You see the skies filled with smoke and you still don't get that we need immediate action to save our planet. Well, again, imagine being a Democrat who hasn't heard about the discovery of fire. Imagine this lady on the 4th of July. You light a Roman candle and she say it's worse than 9/11. And what's Canada's non-binary bozo doing?
People across the country are being affected. We're seeing vulnerable people at risk, outdoor events canceled, kids having to be kept inside at recess. I can't help but think, from my conversation with Liam yesterday to conversations with my own kids, the past few years have been challenging for kids.
For God's sake, please stop thinking about the kids. But at least Trudeau has a plan for using the leftover soot. Meanwhile, USA Today asks, as Canada burns, smoke makes U.S. air unhealthy and skies eerie. Is climate change to blame? Well, no, USA Today. People burning your newspaper to get a grill lit is more likely the cause. The fact is, 90% of forest fires are caused by humans. Campfires left unattended, discarded cigarettes, equipment malfunctions, and the burning of debris, like when I set fire to those old love letters from Larry Kudlow. It was hard to do. Did you know 1 in 4 wildfires are actually caused by arson? And that includes Dana Perino taking out ants with a magnifying glass. Evil. And finally, according to their own forestry data, since 1990, the number of forest fires in Canada has actually declined, which is not to say they aren't aided by bad forest management, which leads to lots of dry wood around, ready to burn. The only bigger fire hazard is Kilmeade's Playboy collection. Pervert! And you can thank green activists for that who reject actual solutions. Logging and other commercial practices would tend to forest health out of self-interest, but they're getting phased out. And Canada is having problems with fires on their public lands due to lack of funds. I guess they're too busy spending money prosecuting teachers for misgendering students. Meanwhile, all our White House says is they want to restore old growth in mature forests. I guess which explains this. Bottom line, more controlled burns would prevent future devastating wildfires. I say we start with a pallet of Jesse Waters' books. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's not the gov, but he gets all our love. Former New York Congressman Lee Zeldin. Just like me, injuries kept her from competing in the Olympics. Outkick host Charlie Arnault. He once got a sunburn from a scented candle. Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. And she's easy on the eyes, but murder on the ears. Fox News contributor Kat Tipp. Tom, you've been out and around the city.
That's right.
What's it like to you? How have you been experiencing this?
It's actually a pretty good day today.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was kind of eerie, but I did like the light. People were overreacting a little bit. This does happen in other states. Molly Hemingway made the observation that it happens in other parts of the country a lot, but because this is New York and Washington, where all the journalists are, they're really covering this big.
Yeah.
But I loved your monologue. I was going to talk about Smokey Bear, and then you I did that gay slur.
What happened to Smokey the Bear?
That's the thing. We haven't stressed fire prevention. Do you remember he always used to say, only you can prevent forest fires?
Exactly. And no one's disproved that.
Yes, it's true.
It's only you.
Yes. And like you said, I like that statistic. 90% is people who are being careless. We could do this with fire management and by educating people to put out their fires. Fire management is a big thing. Controlled burns. And sometimes environmentalists fight against these controlled burns that have, if you do them, then you reduce the amount of refuse and wood and dry stuff that's out there, and you're going to have fewer forest fires. But the environmentalists fight it. Why? Because I think they love this stuff. They love anything they can blame on climate change.
There you go. Yeah, you know, climate change is the new white guy. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How do you say your last name?
Arnold.
Arnold. I said Arnaud.
I like it. It sounds very European.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. That's what I said on the 5. Charlie Arnaud. Arnold. What do you make of the media response to all this?
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's funny that Smokey the Bear is better at his job than John Kerry or AOC.
Yes.
But it's crazy because John Kerry, I mean, he's the climate czar, yet he knows nothing about the climate. Remember 2009, it was, I think, he said that there was going to be no ice left in the Arctic by 2014. Well, now here we are. And AOC, same thing, knows absolutely nothing about the climate, wants to spend $94 trillion on her new green plan, when really there is no evidence it will do anything to help the climate. It's nothing but a money grab and fundraising effort to help her and her fellow Democrat cronies, who are all super excited right now, by the way, to see all of us wearing masks again.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And also, when you make these apocalyptic predictions or whatever, you don't have to provide solutions.
Yeah.
Like, you could just ask for the money, but it's untethered to any kind of direct action. Then you just move on to the next panic, Lee. Lee, if you were governor, and you should have been, Hochul is, of course, she's doing the same thing that she always does. She makes a pronouncement, and then she goes back into the house and orders sushi.
She banned gas stoves.
Yes.
Yeah.
She banned the sale of gas cars after 2035. They won't approve any new pipelines. They won't allow the extraction of natural gas. They're running out of dumbass ideas. The photo, by the way, if you look closely, it's amazing the similarity between New York City and Hunter Biden's crack den.
Yes.
Have you noticed that?
It is true. It is true.
We have an issue where we have to be smart on this. We're getting gaslit. They're talking about what's happening with this climate crisis, and they want to push further. I don't know how much more damage they could do in New York, but anyone's watching what's happening with New York Democrats, they want to bring this to a city and state near you, so pay attention.
Yeah.
Kat, you're an expert in forest management.
I've been to one.
Yes. You've been to a forest.
Yes, I have.
You managed to get to a forest.
1,000%.
Yes. Where do you see the story here? We've talked about failure in government and the media hyping out some other kind of catastrophe.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you said, which was Molly's point as well, of the media loves it because we can make it about us.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that the smoke went far, it's that the smoke went to the media. And like, for me, I get it. Like, for me, it's like baby's first forest fire. Like,
Yeah.
I've never been around one before.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are around them all the time, and we're just like, that's like, oh yeah, that's bad, but we don't talk about it this much because we can't talk about ourselves.
Right.
And they're really, the solutions, ironically, with capitalism comes innovation, which comes to solutions to problems. But a lot of these people don't want to recognize that. They just want to bring more attention. And of course, Justin Trudeau is one of those climate guys.
Yeah.
So, but this still happened, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine if this happened here and there was a Republican president and you think Justin Trudeau wouldn't bring that up?
Yeah, of course.
You'd be like, of course the world's on fire. Republican's the president.
Yes. And it's
always
on
that
his
simple.
watch.
Yeah, on his watch, as they say.
Yes. Yeah, where's your black face now, huh? More like red face. See what I did there? I changed the color. You can bet, to your point, that there's going to be all these New York writers writing about this. As though, like, what we did when the sky went orange.
Oh, yeah, forever.
That'll be the headline.
Well, even the amount of people who posted it on their Instagram story. Like, do you not think I cannot get a better picture by Googling it myself?
Exactly. It's like when they do the picture of, what do they call the full moon or the what moon? And it's like, it's just a picture of a moon.
Or if you go to the zoo and they post like this blurry picture of a gorilla, like, I can just Google gorilla.
Yes.
Or the concert videos that everyone takes.
The concert.
It's like we can listen to the music on our own.
Yeah.
I think we should be able to get rid of all zoos and just replace them with Google.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.